Hi friends, welcome to the channel The Nurse. Today we are discussing fetal circulation. Importance of fetal circulation. What is fetal circulation? Why the fetal circulation is having importance and how it is formed. So before going to our topic, if you are not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. So we will see what is fetal circulation, why fetal circulation is important, how fetal circulation works. So we will see here in detail. So before going to that, I already discussed that Unacademy, CSIR, UGC NET examination preparation courses. So here in every Sunday there is a analysis of your test series. So already free mock tests are going on, mock test series are going on. So every Sunday there will be an analysis of your test series. So you can understand your strength and weakness. So you can improve your weakness and you can score high marks in CSIR, UGC NET examinations. So it will be a best opportunity for you and don't miss it. So I will give you a link in description box. You can join through that link. So get a free test analysis by top educators in Unacademy. After each mock test session, you will get a analysis by top rank holders of previous examinations. So join with the link that is in description box. You can go and join. So we will go to our topic, fetal circulations. Before entering to fetal circulation, there are some essential additional structures temporarily developed for fetal circulations. First one is umbilical vein. Umbilical vein which carries blood from placenta to fetus. Oxygen and nutrients are carried through this blood and it provides oxygen and nutrients to the fetus. So umbilical vein carries oxygen and nutrients from placenta to fetus. So second important structure is ductus venosus. The umbilical vein divides at liver and forms two branches. In major branch that is known as ductus venosus, that is from umbilical vein to inferior vena cava. That small part is known as ductus venosus. Next important part is foramen ovale. Foramen ovale is connection between right and left atrium. It sends blood from right atrium to left atrium because in right atrium the pressure is high due to the placental blood coming through high pressure. So right side will be high pressure and so blood sends from right atrium to left atrium. That is the important part of important function of foramen ovale. So umbilical artery carried blood will sends into the left atrium through foramen ovale. So next important structure is ductus arteriosus. Ductus arteriosus sends blood from pulmonary artery to aorta. Ductus arteriosus is a connection between pulmonary artery and aorta. It sends blood from pulmonary artery to aorta. Important thing, pulmonary artery to aorta. Blood sends from pulmonary artery to aorta. Then fifth important structure is fifth important structure is umbilical arteries. Umbilical arteries, it is just starting originates from internal iliac arteries and it carries deoxygenated blood from fetus to placenta. Umbilical arteries are two in numbers. It carries deoxygenated blood from fetus to placenta. So this cycle will continues. Oxygenated blood carries through umbilical vein to fetus and deoxygenated blood carries from fetus to placenta. So that is about the important structure about in the fetal circulation. So we will discuss the fetal circulation with this picture. So from placenta is attached to the uterus of the mother, and from placenta the umbilical vein that carries oxygen-rich blood. That is why it is red in color. Oxygen-rich blood carries through umbilical vein to the fetus. So, so that is why it is given red in color. So umbilical vein only one, umbilical artery we have two. Infant have, the fetus have two arteries. So at the level of liver, it divides into two branches. The small branch enters into the liver and joins with the portal vein. So there will be a mixing of blood with portal blood in the portal vein, and it came back to the ductus venosum. Ductus venosum, that is a part between inferior vena cava and umbilical umbilical vein. Ductus venosum, that is the branch of the umbilical vein that connects umbilical vein to inferior vena cava. So first blood mixing is occurs at the level of liver and came back to the inferior vena cava through ductus venosum. So 80% oxygen saturated blood came from umbilical vein, mixes with pulmonary blood in the pulmonary vein, and it will be 75% saturated at it enters into the right atrium. Right atrium, I already told, there is a foramen ovale. Through foramen ovale, the blood enters into the left atrium through foramen ovale. The most of the blood came from inferior vena cava. That is around 75% of blood came from inferior vena cava, reaches to left atrium through foramen ovale. Then around 25% of the blood came from inferior vena cava, goes to right ventricle through tricuspid valve. 25% of the blood came from inferior vena cava, reaches to right ventricle, and the blood from superior vena cava. Superior vena cava blood collects from brain and upper body parts, that also came to right ventricle. So most of the blood from superior vena cava and 25% of blood from inferior vena cava reaches to right ventricle. From right ventricle, pulmonary artery arises, and it carries blood from right ventricle to the lungs. Because lungs are underdeveloped, so there are increased resistance in the pulmonary artery. Because of the increased resistance, the pressure in the pulmonary artery is high. Pressure in the pulmonary artery is high. So the connection between pulmonary artery and patent ductus arteriosus works here. Because of the increased pressure in the pulmonary artery, the blood from the pulmonary arteries shunts into aorta. Blood from the pulmonary artery shunts into the aorta, descending aorta. So majority of the blood from the right ventricles enters into the aorta through ductus arteriosus. So that is why ductus arteriosus is important structure. And other very minimal blood enters into the lungs and came back to the left atrium through pulmonary artery. So in left atrium, the blood came from right atrium, and also blood from pulmonary artery reaches in left atrium, that enters into the left ventricle through mitral valve. From left atrium, blood enters into the left ventricle through mitral valve. From the mitral valve, blood enters into the aorta and supplies into the systemic circulations. In systemic circulation, blood supplies everywhere, and it goes to the ascending aorta and aortic arch, then descending aorta. In descending aorta, there are blood came from left ventricle and pulmonary artery through ductus arteriosus. It came down, and then around 40% of the blood in the descending aorta, that will go back to the placenta through the umbilical arteries. Around 40% of the blood in the descending aorta, that will go back to placenta through umbilical arteries. So this cycle will continues. So that is about the simple fetal circulation. So umbilical arteries are 2, that umbilical vein is 1. That is about so next we will see what will happen to these additional structures after the birth. So what will happen? The addition, before checking that we will see the oxygen percentage of the umbilical vein, that is around 80%. It came back from the umbilical artery. The oxygen percentage will be for 40 to 60% only. Around 60% will be there. So from placenta it will be again oxygenated, and this oxygenated blood again go to the fetus through umbilical vein. So we will discuss what are the changes takes place after the birth of these additional temporary structures. So umbilical vein becomes ligamentum teres, ductus venosus become ligamentum venosum, and foramen ovale, that becomes fossa ovalis. So fossa ovalis functional closure takes place at the time of birth, but anatomical closure takes place around 1 year only. In the same time, ductus venosus, that functional closure takes place at the time of birth only, because it collapses after the birth, because there is no blood entering through the umbilical vein. So after closure of the umbilical cord, ductus venosus and the umbilical vein will collapse and it will functionally closes. Ductus arteriosus become ligamentum arteriosum. Ductus arteriosum become ligamentum arteriosum, and it functional closure of ductus arteriosus takes place around 1 to 3 months. But functional closure occurs at the time of birth, but anatomical closure of ductus arteriosus occurs at around 1 to 3 months. Then umbilical artery changes into lateral umbilical ligaments. Umbilical artery changes into lateral umbilical ligaments. So that is about the changes in the temporary structure or additional structures in the fetal circulations. So if you understand this, so I will ask some questions. So the common questions asked during competitive exams are how many arteries are in umbilical cord? So answer is 2 arteries and 1 vein. And next question, common question, that is the passage between right and left atrium is known as foramen ovale. Next question, ductus venosus degenerates into which structure? After the birth, ductus venosus degenerates into which structure? Correct answer, ligamentum venosus. So another important thing is, during the fetal life, the cardiac output of the fetus it is around 350 ml per kg per minute. Cardiac output of the fetus, it is around 350 ml per kg per minute. It is due to the blood came from that pulmonary artery through the ductus arteriosus, and blood came from left ventricle. So it contributes around 350 ml per kg per minute. But after the birth, this ductus arteriosus closes, and there is no connection between pulmonary artery and aorta. So the cardiac output will become 500 ml per minute. After the birth, infant's cardiac output around 500 ml per minute. That is about our fetal circulation. If you understand, please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our channel, The Nurse. Thank you.